streets we might look to complete or do some more work on. As part of that would be finishing Alvin Street from Oak to Brangle, Foster from Center to Ridge, Laurel from Chestnut to Burton. We're also looking at doing something with Sable Street from front to south, but that would be part of looking for a grant or some other thing next year. So, alleys, we just did some cost estimates, had M&J take a look at, measuring a couple that everyone has been hoping for years to get done, and they come in a lot better than expected, around $11,000 per alley. That would be for Lorraine and Carroll. We had an estimate of $5,200 for Amy, which is the one behind Convenient, I believe. And Lorraine, I don't know which one's which. Lorraine and Carroll's between Ridge and Center, and then Center and Washington. I don't know which one's which. So. Anything with any of that? Nothing? Anybody? No? Just move it along. We got the M&J pay apps for the Grand Street project. Pay app 2, pay app 1 is an amount of $88,520.52. Came in a little bit more than the estimated quote, partially because we did a lot of curb work there. Once we had our on-site visit, we determined that before we'd pave the street that we should fix some of the damaged curbs. There's a lot of inlet work that we talked about earlier. And pay app 2 was, I think, discrepancy on base repair charges.
Well, that was pay up to was their retainage.
The retainage release. Oh, okay. So, it's that one. Johnson Street parking restriction ordinance, we already talked about that one. That would be a motion to adopt it tonight. PennDOT winter maintenance service agreement, signatory resolution, listing Joshua Ritchie as signatory. This was all handled at the last meeting. We submitted everything, I guess, to PennDOT, and they came back with we needed to change verbiage. There was no change to the contract or the amounts.
PennDOT had to change it.
PennDOT had to change it.
Yeah, they sent us an old agreement, they said.
Send us an old agreement, so we had to change verbiage, so it would just be re-adopting that resolution. The handicap parking request for 545 Front Street. I don't know if Chief, you had a chance to look at that one?
I did, and I had a chance to previously go there before. I have not been able to make contact with people. Heather, if I can get a copy of the application, if there's a phone number I can contact them at, but there is a garage on the property. So if council, if we're gonna continue with the regular meeting, I'd make a motion, I would request council to table that one.
Okay. Quick one, the reserve parking for businesses. We've had a couple people, since we've been here, ask about the 15-minute business parking signs. So far, the first one, I don't know if we even made a motion to consider it or not, but we've had another request for that option. I would say, I think we have one in the business district currently, and I don't believe they've paid for that sign in several years now. So moving forward, if it's something we would consider, I would just first say, my opinion is that we raise the annual fee substantially to more mimic what a meter revenue might be for that location.
But if you do it for one, you're gonna have to do it for all.
Well, it would be an application you would take every time, right? And we wouldn't have to, but if we're either gotta get rid of it altogether, or if we're gonna continue with it, it needs to be, I think it's like $150 a year to have that sign or something, the way it's written into the ordinance, but, we're not even getting paid for the signs that are out there, so something has to change there. It's just been asked to consider it for another business that's coming to town. There's nothing to, no actionable thing with tonight, but something to consider. If we're gonna do it, it needs to be.
There's several businesses up that street.
Sure.
Center Street, so if we're gonna do it for one, they all have to be the same.
It would all be the same, sure, yeah, it'd have to, whatever we change, it was $500 a year to have one of those signs, and, or just not have them at all, but, Anyone else with any of that? Nope. Good. Building and grounds, we already talked a couple times now about the survey and reverse subdivision of Johnson and Burbick Street. That would be 4 of the 5 parcels being reverse subdivided into one on Burbick. They would look to sell it or, utilize it for some means, and then the same would be, like we just talked about for Johnson Street, that would be for the potential firehouse. On to codes and zoning. Did Chuck give up and quit on us tonight, bro? Yeah, I know. We have nothing actionable tonight. Well, we might have on the agenda, but other information's come in, I guess, prior to the meeting from Attorney Brando about what the appropriate next step is with these 2 properties. Basically, we have no record of any kind of work being permitted in either location. The property owner is looking to turn these into residential units on the first floor where they're both currently in the business overlay district. So they're looking to, they've already changed them into apartments without permanent work, and now they're looking for us to make a ruling on what to, to allow that change in use. Mr. Crone thought that the next step was certificate of appropriateness being issued from council or not. It seems like the only has to do with the exterior appearance of the building and nothing to do with its use. So we're not really sure. We might have to go to a zoning hearing as the applicant applied for it first. So. MREO, that's our multi-role enforcement officer ordinance. That's just looking to adopt that at the regular meeting. For recreation, Freeland Whippets are requesting approval to host their homecoming celebration on October 11, 2025 from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m., which will include a bonfire, food trucks, which they've been notified that they would need to get permits for those food truck operators, and field day activities. I don't know if they reached out to you guys yet. They're supposed to. They're supposed to contact you to let you know.
And as long as they contact us, we'll be.
Sure. Okay. Yep, sounds good. And the one that makes me sad, resignation of Therese Morrison's on the table tonight. And the rec board received a letter for Therese. If you want to speak to that or not, or
Sure.
thank you.
Teresa Morrison, 903 Berwick Street, Recreation Board. It just became too much. Oh, I really don't need that. It became too much. We had 3 people on the board. We ran 14 concerts this year. I don't know, I asked Heather to see how we did with our budget, if she was able to do that.
Excellent. I mean, as far as looking at the income aspect of things and what you spent, it's really great.
It was really good. We didn't have to go into that money at all.
No, you're really good.
So, I'm sorry to do it, but between the cooking and the cleaning and then having to open up the pavilion for private parties, I was a little bit overwhelmed. So I just thought it was time for me to take a break. But thank you, I thank council.
Well, we thank you a lot, for sure. Yeah, much appreciated. So, okay, on to public comment. Anyone so moved?
Well,
We're gonna do from.
I think you should decide what you're gonna do about the regular meeting, and my advice would be to kick it off and then continue it to next.
I was gonna check with the solicitor, but I assume we have to get it going and then punt it. So. Public comment?
Russ Smith, I own 543 and 541 Front Street. Saw the note about paving alleys. The alley behind Front Street from across from the Y down to the library is in very bad shape. Because of the parking on challenges with the Y, there's a lot of folks park off street there.
Sure.
And something's changed in the past 2 years. I have an off-street parking area, extensive erosion. My parking area is probably missing about a 6-inch deep trench of stone. Linnea Delphine's property also gets flooded. But something has changed at the upper end in the past 2 years. and the lower end is severely potholed. And it also impacts, what Chief mentioned, the request for the handicap parking, because 545 Front Street also has a garage back there. I don't know if it's accessible, but the road is eroding quite a bit back there.
Yep,
Just
sure.
asking street departments or potential repaving.
Yep,
to look at that.
with the initial, I don't want to interrupt your time, but with the initial alley, we expanded that to see if it would be something we'd be just doing in the spring if we expanded the project. I believe your alley is Dory Street, and that's on the immediate attention list. Then we have behind the firehouse from Ridge to Washington, and then also Stacy Street, which is another alley. So, but that's on the top of the to-do list.
I would ask that the streets group or engineer look at the erosion issue.
Sure,
Something has really changed in the past 2 years.
sure.
Thank you.
Sorry, is that the alley between, Walnut and Front Street?
Yes.
Yeah.
500
that as well, I saw it there. Like the middle of it is sticks up and it's, like I have a Honda Accord, it actually rubs it on my.
Sure, yeah. I'm familiar with it, yeah.
I have a question.
Mhm.
The alley between, Main and Front, that, at the PNC Bank access.
Yep.
If you go up that, you can barely make it with the garbage cans and, is that allowed?
I couldn't give you a definitive answer.
Supposed to go up that way.
Huh?
The stop sign's down that end.
I know, but.
It's
with
not
all the
marked as a
plug- with
one-way
all
though,
the
yeah,
holes.
sure. No, yeah.
Oh, they fixed them.
I prefer to see this garbage cans in the alley than in the front of the store.
Sure, or behind the building or something, I'm not sure, but I couldn't give you the answer if it's allowed or not, I would have to.
Because at one time there was like shelving that he
Yeah.
actually put out there and he was putting stuff.
Oh, yeah, familiar with it, so I could get you an answer on the legality of it or not. Anyone else?
All right, Matt Crowe, 939 Berwick Street. I'll keep it brief. I had some items that I chopped off. This garbage rebate program, I mean, it only works if the vendor agrees to lower the price for those properties because it can't be done and pass the cost on to people. All right, I got it. With that said, from everything that I'm hearing about the garbage situation, you know, there's 2 years left in the contract after this year. If I were you, I would get bid documents ready for like January to have it settled going into last year. Or maybe the decision is, because I don't really think the pricing is going to get any better, is maybe it's time to explore private hauling, which is going to be like a really big change for people in this town.
Sure.
So start thinking about it sooner rather than later. Graham Street paving project, I came here to the special meeting and I questioned the bids that they put in. The delta ended up being $18,679. That's pretty sizable. I understand that there was some extra work done. I'd like to maybe get a closeout update on what the final cost was. You know, there was extra advertising that had to take place, et cetera. With the parking restrictions, again, I just want to reiterate, Main Street over here, it's getting really bad. There's a lot more vehicles there all of a sudden. So either make it one way or restrict it. I think that's the best route, is probably make it one way, but there still might be a problem there. Reserve parking for businesses is going to be a police nightmare unless they're able, and they're educated to just call the tow companies directly. Because there's going to be people who sit there and say, I paid $500 for this spot, it's my spot, and if somebody even goes in there to like pull over and send a text message, they're going to be calling the cops.
Yeah, sure.
So watch it. The agenda items that have blank spaces on it, again, and this kind of parlays into another point. I still think it's a bad idea to have these work sessions and the regular meetings on the same night, and I said that last year. And also to the point that was made earlier, we always try to start meetings at 6 o'clock, which a lot of other places do. So just think about it for next year as you get the budget and everything else ready. When those items have blanks on them, can you consult with the solicitor if it's appropriate to have an additional public comment period after those blanks are filled in, especially when we're talking about big amounts of money? And I don't want to be a jerk, but there was an agenda item on July 17th, and it's still on the website. It was under Public Works, number 5. Motion to approve quote from blank for blank, not to exceed blank.
Oh, that was supposed to be edited out. Josh did not delete it.
Okay,
That was actually a clerical error.
All right.
He was supposed to
So,
delete that.
Yeah, we didn't, that wasn't the motion we moved on.
No, there's something that was moved on
all
there.
right, 'cause
Yeah,
shame on me, I wasn't here.
yeah. Now
Um,
he's doing, get that.
Otherwise, as far as the regular meeting agenda goes, there's that, and you clarified what the delinquent tax money is for what years it's for. However, it talks about .325, and the rate is .375, so
Okay, well,
if the, yeah. I didn't know if that meant that there was like a breakdown to give part of it to some and part to the other, whatever.
Well, I mean, what council's talked about, I think in the meeting I probably missed even, I wasn't here for the August meeting, was, there had to be conversation about what do we do with the 2024 delinquent tax money. So this is money that we collected in '24 for previous years.
Right,
So,
I know.
yeah, when the '24 delinquency comes in, it's gonna be time for a conversation on who gets what or not, or.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is for 2023.
Sure.
But I was just pointing out the discrepancy in the,
Yep.
in the amount there. I think this is the last thing. The 10-year agreement with PennDOT, 3 to 5 years max. I mean, honestly, there's some winters where that winter service agreement's not even worth it, between what you're paying the guys, what the salt is, what the fuel is, what the insurance on the vehicles is. The only real benefit to that is that Freeland's probably on the bottom of their list to come and plow pretty important streets if we're waiting for them to do it. So it behooves the borough to do it, but to lock in for 10 years, I'm hoping those amounts are like at least 50% higher than what they've been in the past. So I would not endorse a 10-year agreement like that. So, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else move to? Go ahead.
Did you get anybody to clean the borough?
This borough, a cleaning company did start this past week.
Oh, you did find somebody?
Yeah.
Because I think you should try to find somebody to take care of the park. I mean, it's just not, it has to be taken care of. Somebody has to be. And Danny's been going up on his own, a matter of fact, for tomorrow night because of the ceremony.
Sure.
He spent all day there doing it,